Okay, folks, we have a problem. You see, I am standing right here on an eastward stretch of Main Street. Now, looking down the road, there is this building. That's a problem because the building, it is so big and exposed. I guess the road layout is right. After all, Main Street is one way. At least the building is out of sight when driving in that direction through town. If it was the other way around, well, all eyes would be off the road. Of course, for anyone traveling through Silva, the building is almost impossible to miss, and its stature is so imposing it draws a certain kind of attention. You see, what you are looking at, it is the most photographed building in the entire state. This building, folks, it just has to be seen to be believed. It is perched high on a mountainside, its neoclassical facade fully exposed, looking down upon that town of Silva below. That road down there, Main Street, it has a number, like most roads do. Its number is 107. Well, folks, 107. It is the number of steps leading up from the street to this here portico. Okay, folks, bear with me. This particular part might be a tad bit boring. However, it is something that most definitely needs to be done. You see, I am standing here within the portico, and I am going to walk down these steps. I have to see if there are 107 steps. So, yes, I do have to count. For those of you into math, just maybe you will enjoy this. Now, I guess we could call the top one number 1. I don't know. We'll find out. So, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34. Okay, keep that in mind, 34, but we might have a problem. Are these steps over here considered the same as those, or are these different? Let's see. We're going to assume that these are different. 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63. 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, I am going to go back up here. Just bear with me. So now I am back up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Somewhere I must have missed one. The thing is, though, there are like 5 of these steps on each side of this statue thingy. I will say this, though. It's not easy walking up 107 steps, but there's 5 steps here, and there's 5 here. If I subtract 5 from, what did I say, 112? Yeah, that's 107. So I'm assuming they are counting these steps as one series. And the statue here, to be discussed later, I believe was built a year after the courthouse construction. So I am not sure if these steps were ever one long tier or not, or the number 107 came about during the planning process, not sure. Regardless, that town down there, it numbered its main thoroughfare after the number of steps leading up to its most prominent landmark. So, tell me, how much more attention can a building possibly get? Well, that building has always been a beacon for attention, so much so that it got its bricks nailed to the National Register of Historic Places way back in 1979. It was almost as if preservationists pounced on the opportunity they could get to nail this building down for good. And in the late 2000s, the building was stretched out straight across the hill with an addition so large that it is not even just to call it a rear addition. Oh man, an aerial view. There just is no coming back from that kind of a sight. Of course, this building, the former Jackson County Courthouse, it is going to be the focus of this episode of Let's Explore This. This building is going to be combed, front and back, left and right, top and bottom. Yes, on this episode, its most deepest secrets will be revealed, and you, as a YouTube watcher, will soon know just how this behemoth ever came to be. So, the history of the building on the hill. Well, let's start by discussing something the document, for some reason, fails to mention. This here is the so-called Daniel Bryson House, constructed circa 1812. It was located in Beta, a few miles east of Silva, along Highway 74. It was a popular stopover for travelers. Well, it was also Jackson County's first court, active especially in the 1850s. So, the little town hardly anyone knows about, Beta, is quite historic to Jackson County. Who would have known? But folks, don't go looking for that house today. Unfortunately, it was razed in 1956. Okay, so Jackson County, it was formed in 1851 from Haywood and Macon counties, and its first county seat was, not in Silva. Oh, no, it was in Webster, located a bit southward of Silva, a town that very few talk about anymore. Well, the first courthouse was built there in 1855. Then, something bizarre happened. In 1913, Silva became the county seat, and Webster, it was then reduced to not much more than a sleepy mountain town. Then, in 1914, the following year, this present courthouse was constructed. The building was designed by the Asheville-based architectural firm Smith and Carrier. For the building, well, they had this bright idea to slap it on the mountainside and force people to walk up a triple flight of stairs to reach it. So, there's only one reason to build a courthouse that high. The idea had to be to make sure the building stood out over the town with its impressive portico fully exposed from on high. To this day, no trees ever dared to obstruct its facade. In order to tempt the county to build this courthouse in their community, the leaders and merchants of Silva paid $1,000 on the cost of the structure, and the county paid the remaining $20,000. Now, of course, there is no angle this building can be viewed from that would not take one's breath away. Yes, there are many other neoclassical courthouses in the state, but none that can lay claim to being perched so high. So, folks, what do you say we give it a full architectural investigation? Dramatically sited on a hill above the main street in Silva, the Jackson County Courthouse. It is a two-story, brick-laden, neoclassical revival building designed by, as I said, that Asheville-based firm of Smith and Carrier. It was, as I also said, constructed in 1914. Yes, steep flights of stairs do lead up the well-planted sloping lawn from a circular fountain and Civil War monument to the heroic Corinthian portico. Okay, folks, I must now draw your attention to this fountain. Well, sort of. Yes, I do see what might be the circular foundation of a fountain, but I do not see a fountain. I mean, that does look like a concrete-lined impression bowled out for water, maybe, but as I said, I see no fountain. What I do see, however, is, well, a tree. It's not even planted here, rather bolted down tightly. Now, I'm not certain why this is here. Is it like the county's way of saying we're going back to nature? If you have any idea as to why there might be a tree decorated with shiny balls and other stuff, please let me know. Leave a comment below. I am kind of wondering what the purpose of this is myself. Now, this monument here, though, it was built to honor the 164 soldiers from Jackson County who served in the Confederate Army during the Civil War and all the citizens who helped with the war effort. This statue, reportedly, it was one of 8 other North Carolina statues made by the W.H. Mullins Company of Salem, Ohio. So, for those of you that do not know, there was, not long after the COVID pandemic, a wave of racially charged protests that swept the nation due in a large part to police brutality. In the midst of all this, there were efforts to combat white supremacy which involved the removal of statues that honored the Confederacy. Yes, the silver statue, it was such a statue. Should it have been removed? Well, I'll leave that for you to decide because I have to get back to this building. The formal setting enhances the monumental scale and powerful cupola of the courthouse. The main entrance is located in the main block with two bay projecting wings flanking the portico. A modillion cornice does carry around the building and does outline the pediment, and the three-stage cupola that so crowns the building, it is visible from nearly any point in town. Okay, folks, I am now beside the courthouse, and I am rounding the corner here. Why? Well, there's an interesting little feature over here. There is this little platform hanging out just below the second floor. There is an entrance to that platform on the second floor. The platform, it has some chairs, so yes, it is designed for people to sit down, a kind of rest area. However, I am not sure I would want to put 100 people on that. I could be wrong, but I doubt it would be able to handle that kind of a load. And with that many people, let's hope a few don't start to bounce. Yes, that would give that platform a nice ride, but the end result? Well, that would unlikely be anything but pretty. Sure, it might have a support brace or two hidden within the ceiling to add some structural support, I don't know. But it just kind of looks as if it is just hanging there, a long overhang, almost begging for support. Anyhow, the point of emphasis of the courthouse, the cupola, is topped by a statue of blind justice, and it symbolizes the building's official function, and it is an expression of community identity as the commanding silhouette of the skyline. The lower stage of the cupola is screened with reticulated classical grilles set between widely spaced columns. A large clock does fill the front face, and a ribbed dome does cap the structure. The plan and ornament of the Jackson County Courthouse resembles that of the Madison County Courthouse, constructed 7 years earlier. The striking similarity of the two buildings does demonstrate the popularity of the neoclassical revival style, which dominated courthouse design in North Carolina for over 30 years. Okay, folks, I am now here at the entrance road, I should say one of the entrance roads, to this courthouse. To the right over here is another road. Well, sort of. It certainly does not look like much of a road anymore. I do wonder why there is this path of broken pavement here. I mean, if you trek on down to the end of the strip, it like ends at the grass. Was this at one time some kind of access road? I mean, how could it be, if it's going in this direction? You know, with the steps over there so close by, I wonder why this is even here. If it predated the courthouse, I am not certain it would be paved. You know, it kind of looks like, even on the grass, that maybe, though hard to say, but maybe it extended over here and went down, like, I don't know, someplace down there. I have no idea, but that is definitely quite a bizarre kind of mystery. let's move over this way, because we have got something, I guess, of importance over here. Once again, we have this kind of mystery. What is or was the purpose of this building? Now, I am going to assume it's on the courthouse property. There appears to be no way to get inside. Still, it says no trespassing, so I am not certain I would want to go in there, even if I could. And I am almost positive it's locked. Regardless, though, that nagging question, yes, it does remain. Like, what is down here? What is this? I mean, the building here, it stands not far at all from the courthouse, as you can clearly see. Yes, this is a little log cabin. Not certain what it is supposed to represent, though. It does appear well preserved. Wow! Thanks for this pic. So, there was a house here. Okay, so that road there, it was likely a driveway. So, the log cabin, yes, it was also on the property. Wow! Thanks for this one, too. So, in 2001, the Silva First United Methodist Church gave this land to a T. Hart Goodson. Okay, log cabin, it appears you may have at one time been the property of the Silva United Methodist Church. Yes, I am not sure, but you certainly do not look new. Either you were moved, or you have been here for many, many years. Unfortunately, for me, though, I do have to move back to the courthouse. Now, the interior of the Jackson County Courthouse. Yes, it has been totally renovated. The basic cross-hall floor plan and part of the original wooden stair reportedly do remain. A 2-story brick jail is located behind the courthouse. Built in 1914, it is domestic in scale and is connected to the new jail facility. What? Really? What are they talking about? This does not look like a jail to me. It looks like a library. Okay, folks. The National Register document does date back to the 1970s. Well, it is now 2021. Here's what happened. The Jackson County Courthouse remained the county's governmental seat until 1994, and it was the home of the county sheriff's office from 1995 until 2003. So, at the time this behemoth was awarded National Register status, it was still used as a courthouse. I mean, though, who would have known that would change over 20 years later? I mean, many people in those days, they thought the world would end in 2000. Somehow that never happened, and here we are. So, in 2007, commissioners decided to incorporate the deteriorating courthouse into the Jackson County Library. Well, this historic structure, it was completely refurbished during the library's construction. So, folks, tell me, do you remember earlier when I showed you the area where that fountain was supposed to be? Yeah, the one that now holds a tree? Well, good, 'cause there's no fountain or anything like that over here. Still, there's one of those trees again. Though this one has none of those shiny balls. No, this one is lit up with lights and topped with a red ribbon. Now, I have, and you have too, probably, if you've been watching this episode closely, seen those red ribbons on various trees planted nicely in the lawn. I mean, what is going on here? Then there's like moving over here, not a tree, but like nicely arranged patches of evergreen needles, all lit up like that tree. Folks, you have to, in the comments below, let me know just what in the world is going on here. Is this like some kind of festivity kind of stuff going here? I mean, I tried asking someone in the library, and they just looked at me as if I should know or something. Oh yeah, and the building, they painted it white. Okay, folks, so tell me, do you know what those are? Yeah, they're teeth. Apparently, when they went to refurbish and expand the building, take a look at this here, the modillion cornice, and all its teeth, so ready to bite. Now, let's move over to the much later edition, this long rear edition. There is none of that modillion cornice and stuff. So, did they, forget to put it on here, or did they just want to make it a tad bit different from the original building? What is the reason for that missing modillion cornice and its nicely sculpted and denticulated fixtures? Let's move back now to the original. Just look at those teeth. They have got this kind of curve to them. Then, moving over to the addition again, the cornice here, it's just so plain. And there's more, believe it or not. Again, let's move back over here. Now, panning up here, look closely, very closely. Notice the cornice. It's molded, rounded, tiered profile. It is kind of layered, curved in spots and nicely ribbed. Now, again, moving on to the refurbished, or should I say, the far more recently built new rear addition. Now, it's kind of ribbed too, layered, tiered, whatever you want to call it, but here they just kind of left it all square. Notice that up there, hardly a single curve. Now, moving back over here, take that good hard look again. Yes, that is most definitely not square. Yes, folks, that is a striking change. It would clearly be noticeable to anyone with an interest in architecture. And this new 26,000 square foot library, it opened in 2011. Its courthouse wing is now home to the Jackson County Genealogical Society's office and reference library, as well as the Historical Association of Jackson County's museum. Furthermore, the library itself is comprised of 2 floors. And how big is the library, might you ask? Well, that massive rear block, so long and bulky, it should pretty much put a swift answer to that question. Oh yes, and it's 2 stories. The former lobby is now used for a gallery by the Jackson County Arts Council. Okay, folks, I am going to assume the lobby is located right inside those doors. Entirely certain I can't be, but I suspect it should be, near the entrance. Of course, the real entrance, at one time, I believe, was on the other side. straight down the hall there. Anyhow, a lobby. It is usually a large room at the entrance, usually, but used by the Arts Council. Not sure if that is true today in 2021. Maybe, maybe not. Moving on now to the former second-floor courtroom. It now provides a space for community dances and concerts, as well as other programs and events, including weddings. Well, folks, there you have it. That pretty much sums up the history of this massive behemoth of a courthouse in Silva. Now, yes, you do know the drill. Yes, I do have to move on.